like to call this meeting to order at 7:02 p.m. Can we stand and do the pledge, please? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The New Jersey Open Public Meeting Law was enacted to ensure the right of the public to have advance notice of and attend the meetings of public bodies in which any business affecting their interests is discussed or agreed upon. In accordance with the provisions of, of this Act, in accordance with the provisions of this Act, the Mattawan Aberdeen Regional School District Board of Education advertised this meeting on November 21st, 2018 in the Asbury Park Press and in the Star Ledger. This notice was sent to the municipal clerks of the borough of Mattawan and the township of Aberdeen and the Mattawan Aberdeen George Street Public Library. This notice was also placed on the district's website. Mr. Ferrer, roll call, please.
Thank you. Good evening. Start off with Mr. Hager.
Here.
Mr. Aiken.
Here.
Mr. Brittenhead.
Here.
Dr. Lane.
Here.
Ms. Freeman.
Here.
Ms. Martinez.
Here.
Ms. Happy.
Here.
Ms. Esposito.
Here.
Ms. Shinson.
Here.
Thank you.
Thank you. May I have a motion to accept the committee of the whole meeting meetings of October 8, 2018, the executive session meeting minutes of October 8, 2018, the regular action meeting minutes of October 29th, and the executive session meeting minutes from October 29th. Motion by Mr. Esposito. May I have a second?
I'll second.
Ms. Happy. Roll call, Mr. Ferrer.
Mr. Hager.
Yes.
Mr. Aiken.
Yes.
Mr. Brittenhead.
Yes.
Dr. Lane.
Yes.
Ms. Freeman.
Yep.
Ms. Martinez.
Yes.
Ms. Happy.
Yes.
Ms. Esposito.
Yes.
Ms. Shinson.
Yes to the October 8th committee of the whole executive session. I abstain from the regular action and the executive session from October 29th. Thank you. Board President's report. I would like to take a minute to acknowledge two people in the audience. In January, on January 7th, there'll be two new board members coming in. I'd like to introduce Randy Moore and Jack or John Montone.
Jack, either one.
Jack. They'll be sworn in on January 7th for Aberdeen. We wish them luck. I'd like to thank Mr. Aiken and Ms. Martinez for all your service on the board. And, I know great things will continue as the district moves forward. The only other thing is I would ask maybe during all business for Mrs. Esposito to give an update on negotiations. The only thing I would like to say is that a mediator has been appointed for late in January, which now effectively takes Ken and I out of the equation. We were on the negotiations committee for almost the last 20 years, I guess, negotiating MR, or MAREA, M-A-R-E-A, and MRAA. It's going to be a big change. And I would just ask the board to consider negotiations next year. My suggestion would be Mrs. Esposito has been dutifully doing negotiations, several contracts with the board, and a lot of time and effort has been put into it. I'm sorry we are at this point in the process. I really had hoped that we could have settled both contracts this year. But going forward next year, I recommend, this is my perspective, retaining Mrs. Esposito to keep that continuity on negotiations. And the only other thing I would like to say is I was reviewing our board goals that we met with Kathy Weinkauf, our service representative, back in June. And we've been making good progress on goals, but one of the things I wanted to see with the board was to review, revise, and adopt a district policy on social media. And we only have one meeting in December, so we wouldn't even really have a first read or a second read possible before I got off the board. So it would probably be a follow-up to continue in the beginning of the new year. And if you have a committee and you want to back, people or whatever, as a community member, you're more than willing to come and see that work through with you, if that was something the committee wanted to do. The only other thing I wanted to do was advise the board that Saturday, June 1st of 2019 is booked with Kathy Weinkoff for district and board goal session. That's already in the book, so that's established going forward. If there's anything else that we need to review or go over, we have one more meeting in December. But I just wanted to give really the framework for the new board going forward to create, make sure there's a smooth transition and continue the success. With that, I will turn it over to Dr. Michael for his report.
Thank you. I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Beaton for the SSDS and the HID report for January 1st, 2018 through June 30th, 2018.
Thank you. Good evening. We've shared with the board the student safety data system information. This is for the school year 2017-2018. This report previously was known as EVERS, or the Electronic Violence and Vandalism Report. SSDS has taken its place and is a bit more comprehensive, adding more detailed information. So what we share with the board is for the 17-18 school year, report period 1, which is the first half of the year, report period 2. And then we also, in that report, give you an overall summary of the 17-18 school year. This report now includes total incidences, covers violence, vandalism, substances, weapons, and HIV, which previously was not in the EVERS report. So it has HIB confirmed and HIB alleged, and other incidents that may have led to student removal from school. And then it also includes data on HIB trainings and programs. So the board gets updates on this twice a year. So this is just a comprehensive report that encapsulates the data from the entire school year. The next report for this current school year will be coming up in the new year in January. That concludes the student safety data system update.
Thank you, Mr. Beaton.
Thank you. So there any board questions from Mr. Levin on the new SSDS, only the UDRS report?
No question, but just a request, that we can just get copies of that before, like when we get our board pack. So when we do have to review them, especially because it's new, we'll be able to have that ahead of time.
You were asking for this to be available on the board package? I'm sorry.
I'm saying moving forward, like for the next one you said was in
January, February.
January, February. If we can just have it to look at prior to the meeting, so if we have questions, especially if it's a new format, I just think it'll be easier for people to, we usually get things ahead, and I just wanted to remind, request, whatever, underscore.
Because this was in the board packet, but I know it's a new format, so, any other board questions on the report? Seeing none, Dr. Murphy?
Good evening, everyone. I'm going to sub in for our student rep, Paolo, who has his last dress rehearsal before we play this week. So off of his notes from what's going on in the district, at Cambridge Park, students of the Preschool of Rock are continuing their fall festive music curriculum. The Math Magic Show is held for the students, combining entertainment and education, and was provided for by the Cambridge Park PTO. At Ravine Drive, kindergarten students welcomed the new Madeline Police Chief Falco to answer questions the students had about becoming a police officer. Kindergarten students participated in Native American Day celebration, where they engaged in different activities and ways of learning about Native Americans. At Strathmore, students collected for the annual food drive, where Thanksgiving meals were supplied to 30 families. The third grade students participated in the Strathmore Veterans Day Parade, led by veterans Chase Alston and James Keel. At Strathmore, their star students were honored. The third graders will be presenting their Veterans Day program on November 28th at 7 p.m. in the Strathmore cafeteria, and all are welcome to come out. At Cliffwood, Pure Buddies has gotten off to a great start with 20 buddies working with students of special needs. The program is in thanks to Mrs. Levine and Mrs. Natalia. The PTO Book fair begins tomorrow and runs through Friday. The fair will also be open during parent-teacher conferences. Please stop by. Moving on to Lloyd Road. The annual PTO Thanksgiving food drive resulted in a donation of 6 large bins of food to the Keyport St. Vincent's de Paul Society. The Student Council food drive resulted in a donation of 22 turkeys, there we go, and hams. The students began bully prevention lessons where each class will receive 2 90-minute sessions on how to respond and prevent bullying taught by instructors from the Child Prevention Assault Organization. And Lloyd Road has begun offering its 11 different after-school activities. Moving on to NAMS. The Make a Meal fundraiser finished after 3 weeks with many donations. The Monmouth County vocational schools such as High Tech, Biotech, and Allied have begun accepting applications. The theater program is gearing up to begin production of The Addams Family. And moving on to the high school, the girls soccer team ended their amazing season by making it all the way to the state sectional finals. Along the way, they beat first seed Rumson. Open house was hosted, which introduced the current 7th and 8th graders to the vast academic and school activities found at their high school. And the fall drama, 45 Seconds from Broadway, will have 4 showings this week, beginning on Thursday, November 29th, and concluding on Sunday, December 2nd. Please come out and watch. And that concludes the student report.
Nicely done. I would like to make a quick correction to the agenda. We have public comments relating to agenda items listed next. That's a mistake. It will be moved down under finance and transportation. Also, we have reviewed the agenda, so we'll start with the agenda. Mr. Bombadil, can you get us the correct development instruction, please?
Sure. Good evening. Starting with Part A, travel on curriculum instruction, we have 1 staff member going after an NJDOE Safe Schools workshop at no cost. 1 middle school staff member going to a student safety, student discipline, and student right workshop. 4 elementary teachers going to the regional PD academy workshops at no cost. 5 teachers going to the MC3 impact on equity in schools at no cost. 1 Key Club advisor going to the Key Club Advisor Summit. 1 staff member going to the Principal Learning Network at no cost. 1 staff member going to a Legal One Healthy Workplace Environment workshop. 9 staff members going to a Linkit Principal and Teacher Data Leadership Academy. And 5 staff members going to an educational resource group building teacher capacity with feedback workshop. That's all for Part A. Moving on to Part B of curriculum instruction. There are no items in red. The 3 items as listed were uploaded to the board folder, including item number 3, which is the QSAC DPR, and the update was included in the responses today. And then item number 4 is also the grants, which are not changed from the CAP, and that concludes curriculum instruction.
Thank you, Mr. Bombadil. May I have a motion to accept the curriculum and instruction agenda?
I'll make a motion.
Ms. Esposito, second, please.
I'll second.
Mrs. Nappi, any comments or questions on curriculum and instruction? Ms. Friedman?
The update as to QSAC, if I read that right, we've now gone to 97% facility.
That's correct. So our final scores are instruction and program 85%, fiscal management 96%, governance 100%, and operations is at 97%, personnel at 100%.
That's great to hear.
So all in areas 80% is the cut score for QSAC. So we're moving that in all areas, category 26 is all QSAC listed.
Thank you, Mr. Bombadil. Any more questions or comments from the board? Seeing none, Mr. Bombadil, can you do special services, please?
Special services number 1, there is an item in red in addition from a CAL that is 1 additional student at the amount indicated. No changes for item number 2. In addition, item number 3 is asking the board to approve the following students to attend out-of-district placements for the 2018-2019 school year. The school costs and effective dates are indicated. And that concludes special services.
Thank you, Mr. Bombadil. May I have a motion to accept the special services agenda?
A motion.
Mr. Aiken, thank you. A second, please.
I'll second.
Ms. Martinez? Thank you. Any board comments or questions on special services agenda? Ms.
I just have a comment. In the board questions, I saw there was a question about CPC versus keys. And I think maybe there just was some confusion. There are several branches of CPC, and I think, so someone might have mistaken CPC as in the substance support arm versus the counseling arm versus the school arm. So I just thought it might be a point of clarification.
Thank you, I agree, yes.
Any other board comments or questions on special services? Seeing none, Ms. Gleason, can you lead us to personnel?
Under personnel agenda, section A, resignations and retirements, we have 2 resignations. I'd like to put out to the board for the minutes. Under Jenna Paul Witt, her effective date for resignation should read 12/05/2018. Under B, leave of absence, there are 5 additional names added on the bottom of page 1 of 5, and it continues on the top of page 2 of 5. Under C, 1, appointments, there are 2 names listed in red with salary and effective dates listed. Item number 2, extracurricular and hourly activities. There are, under non-athletic activities, additional advisor names as listed. And under hourly activities, there are one-to-one and crowd control positions that have been listed. Item number 3, curriculum writing. We have 1 name listed for curriculum writing for elementary Spanish. Item number 4, college student observers, teachers, interns for the 2018-2019 school year. 1 additional name for a student observer is listed. Under item 5, home instruction for the 2018-2019 school year. 1 student has been added with instructors is listed. Under item 6, no changes to staff rank. And under item 7, number A, the proposed superintendent's contract. This is pending board discussion during executive session this evening. Action may be taken when the board reconvenes in public session. And then under number 7, under D, office manager special services, 1 employee listed for the stipend retroactive to July 1st, 2018. That concludes the personnel agenda.
Thank you, Mr. Leason. May I have a motion to accept the personnel agenda?
Make a motion.
Mrs. Esposito, second, please.
I'll second.
Mrs. Nassi, thank you. Any board comments or questions on personnel? Seeing none. Mr. Leason, can we go to the 1 item on the policy agenda, please?
Under policy, we recommend to the board to approve the following policy. This is the 7000 series for facilities. Policy and regulation 7510, use of school facilities. The first reading would be this evening, November 26th. That concludes policy.
Thank you. So we're doing first reading tonight on this facilities policy 7510. The policy and regulation. May I have a motion for first reading?
Make a motion.
Mrs. Esposito, second, please.
I'll second.
Mrs. Martinez, any board comments or questions on the facilities policy?
I would just note,
That I noted 2 typos that I think need to be changed before the final reading. That included in my email.
Yes, those edits have been made, so they'll be uploaded for the second reading.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Just, I have that from Mrs. Friedman on page 4. Cannot reserve more than 60% of useful time. If I could just, I found it a second time and I found a couple, Ms. Believe it, I have a mocked up copy here, but just on page 5. Will be, the word be is missing, or it will be sent. So I have a mocked up copy here. And on the fee schedule and procedure, if we could, I think that's page number 6, 4, 5, 6, on page 7, I just want to ask the ad hoc committee, throughout the regulation, we took out the custodial rate and went with custodial fee. And I was wondering if we could do the same thing under the fee schedule where it says charges may include the custodial rate as indicated, if we can change those references to fee to keep them.
I think it looks,
Okay.
I think it's supposed to be, that was Mr. Nasser's suggestion.
Okay, so on the first reading on page 7, there's 3 instances of adding fee instead of to rate, and then as Mr. Friedman highlighted in her email, the sound ordinance is a municipal sound ordinance on page 8. So if the board is okay, I can give this little highlighted copy of what I was referencing as part of the first few edits. Any objections? Okay. Any other board comments or Mrs. Esposito?
No, I just wanted to thank the committee, once you get to see the finished product and everything put together, that's why I'm very pleased to see that we've addressed so many issues that have been reoccurring all the time, and I'm hopeful that this will definitely take care of those issues in our process.
It was definitely the goal of the committee, Ms. Martinez, Ms. Matthew, myself, Mr. Nasser, to have an eye to making sure that not just the student body and the kids get to use the facilities, but also that it opens up to the public and the community at large. So we did try and make sure that there would be some preference or deference to the younger kids who just want to start playing basketball, which hopefully will lead to stronger sports teams within the school and allow for some family community time as well.
And I would just like to reiterate what Mrs. Esposito said, as we've been saying, as you guys have been working on and giving us updates. I know I am very appreciative, and the board is very appreciative, and one of the things that I thought, besides all the edits that were done, was that in-season sports, their preference, which I think is important when you're trying to use facilities and you have in-season sports and there's some one hub for facilities. So I thought that was another great outcome of going through that policy and making it more student-friendly, more community-friendly. So I got to thank Mrs. Knapp and Mrs. Friedman and Mrs. Martinez and Mr. Nasser for their work. I know that you've met several times, and it shows in the final product, and it is appreciated. Any other, Mrs. Knapp?
Just except for my couple of typos, for which I apologize. But yes, no, we did all work very collaboratively on that, and I think that it reflects the priorities of the board and of the district to engage the community, to engage with students, to help build our feeder programs. And as a secondary byproduct, there will be some income revenue, but that does not come before how we try to be open for as much as we can for children and families. So it was a pleasure to work on it. Thank you for the opportunity, and thank you to my fellow board members for their help as well.
Thank you. Seeing no more input, Mr. Ferrell, can you take us through finance and certification, please?
Yes, ma'am, thank you. So we'll start off on page 204, which is our some area number resolution marked in red. This is the acceptance of the NJSIG grant. It's an annual grant for purposes of security. This confirms the allocation that was previously provided to us when we submitted grants. Moving on to transportation, page 3 of 4. B1 and B2 is a record of the jointures and or renewals that we have with primarily the Ed Services Commissions or renewals for something like Worleys for very specific routes. And that concludes the changes to the finance chart.
Thank you, Mr. Ferrer. Can we please have a motion on the finance and transportation agenda? Mrs. Esposito, a second, please.
I'll second.
Mrs. Friedman, thank you. Any board comments or questions on the finance and transportation agenda? Seeing none. Okay, this is the point in the meeting where we open the floor to public comments relating to agenda items.
Sherry Reed. Sherry Reed, Maryland. I just wanted to get clarification on the NJSIG grant that we get annually. What is that used for? It says it's for security, so what do we use it for?
So every year, so NJSIG is part of the insurance group that insures the district's property casualty. Every year, what they do as part of the premium process, They make certain dollars available to districts based upon utilization of the premium costs and stuff like that, depending on, what the returns are on premiums and that kind of thing. So every year we get an allocation that says, hey, District X, you're eligible for blank number of dollars, and then the purposes of those dollars are to be used for security purposes, ideally. So that has a fairly broad definition based upon the grant. For the last couple of years, we've used it to offset both from a camera standpoint, to cover like areas that we hadn't previously provided cameras before. We also used, for this year, we're looking to do, we're working on a project with the prosecutor's office, which is to cover the layouts of the actual floor plans for each of the districts for the purposes of emergency management. And then in addition to that, the other thing that we built into the grant was also potentially some camera work. But that's for this year, for 18-19, that's the biggest kind of priority, is to do that overlay system, which is something that has been gaining a lot of traction both in Elmhurst and Monmouth County for the purposes of first responders coming in, especially the teams that are coming in. They might not be familiar with the local school buildings. They might be coming from the county or from other counties, state police and that kind of stuff. So this is one of the initiatives that we had talked about at the time the grant was submitted. But like I said, to your point, Ms. Reed, the goal is to provide security and loss mitigation, I guess is the best way to put it. But that they leave it kind of open-ended based upon the needs of a specific district.
Thank you.
Any other public comments related to the agenda? Seeing none? Okay, let's take action, don't we? Okay, sorry. We'll take action on the agenda items, Mr. Clerk, please.
So starting off with curriculum instruction, Mr. Ahern?
Yes.
Mr. Aiken?
Yes.
Mr. Briggham?
Yes.
Dr. Lane?
Yes.
Ms. Freeman?
Yes.
Ms. Martinez?
Yes.
Ms. Tappi?
Yes.
Ms. Esposito?
Yes.
Ms. Jensen?
Yes.
Moving on to special services, Mr. Ahern?
Yes.
Mr. Aiken?
Yes.
Mr. Briggham?
Yes.
Dr. Lane?
Yes.
Ms. Freeman?
Yes.
Ms. Martinez?
Yes.
Ms. Tappi?
Yes.
Ms. Esposito?
Yes.
Ms. Jensen?
Yes.
Thank you. Moving on to personnel with the adjustments that Mr. Lehman spoke of with reference to 7A, which will be a separate resolution after executive session. Mr. Ahern?
Yes.
Mr. Aiken?
Yes.
Mr. Greenham?
Yes.
Dr. Lane?
Yes.
Ms. Freeman?
Yes.
Ms. Martinez?
Yes.
Ms. Tappi?
Yes.
Ms. Esposito?
Yes.
Ms. Jensen?
Yes.
Policy, Mr. Ahern?
Yes.
Mr. Aiken?
Yes.
Mr. Greenham?
Yes.
Dr. Lane?
Yes.
Ms. Freeman?
Yes.
Ms. Martinez?
Yes.
Ms. Tappi?
Yes.
Ms. Esposito?
Yes.
Ms. Jensen?
Yes.
And finance, Mr. Ahern?
Yes.
Mr. Aiken?
Yes.
Mr. Greenham?
Yes.
Dr. Lane?
Yes.
Ms. Freeman?
Yes.
Ms. Martinez?
Yes.
Ms. Tappi?
Yes.
Ms. Esposito?
Yes.
Ms. Jensen?
Yes.
Thank you.
Any unfinished business before the board?
Want me to give my update now?
Please, thank you.
Well, obviously keeping in mind that we still have issues with certain conflicts. Just essentially, we're in a position where the association declared unilateral impasse, which means that they chose to go to impasse before development can still negotiate. But that's the choice that they made. And at this point, we've been waiting for an arbitrator to be assigned. They just notified us that that has happened, and the dates that they've given us, unfortunately, are not until the end of January. So we're kind of in a holding pattern at this point. And unless there is some overture for some sort of meeting prior to that. That would be on the part of the association to decide. So that's where we stand.
Thank you, Mr. Esposito. Any other unfinished business before the board? Seeing none, any new business? Ms. Malky, Ms. Freeman?
The email that the parents received about the December 4th program for the vaping, I think it's extremely timely. It's been well received by parents I know have come up to me personally. I'm going to be very interested to see how the kids react to the assemblies as they start to happen. I would just make a note that December 4th, Aberdeen is actually having the menorah lighting at the municipal building. So I know there's a conflict for some parents, including myself. But I don't know if it's possible to maybe put an information sheet on our website so that parents who, they're circulating their own articles that they're coming by, which are very helpful, but that's all, it's extremely timely, so I'm really excited about it.
That's the plan as it stands. That's exactly what we're doing. Yeah.
Could that information be shared with the board, because like Mr. Ahern, Mr. Aiken and I, we don't have children in the district, so I wasn't aware of that.
Sorry.
So, Ms. Nappy, I didn't, no, I'm glad you mentioned it. I got an email from Mrs. Nieves and Mrs. Perez that they were scheduled, but if we can have the, share with them.
I'll send it out
I appreciate it.
tomorrow, as soon as we get back from our mid-year budget.
I had a question.
Is there any possibility that we can arrange to have that video tape?
Yeah,
I know
yes.
we also
Yeah.
have students that need.
We just got the okay, so we're good.
I'm just thinking
December
that's the
4th.
kind of presentation that would be certainly very good to have.
I'll have Mary reach out to you tomorrow.
But I'd like to just, I wish I could remember the name of the parent who reached out to us, probably last March or April. Very concerned, and, we told her we were working on it, so it's great when the board is able to put together things, and the district is able to put together things in response to, and have our parents reach in and share their concerns and what they're seeing, so it's great to see that kind of community support, watching our children and doing what we can to keep them from engaging in things that are not in their best interest. So I just wanted to, tie that in with, all the other good feelings about being able to present this. Any other, Ms. Nabby, new business, please?
Thank you. So I had the pleasure of attending the delegate assembly meeting on November 17th, and Mrs. Gentili pointed out to me that what I did not do, the step that I did not follow, which is my fault, was to make the rest of the board aware of that. But I noticed that no one else was sort of clamoring to go there on Saturday, so I'm assuming that everybody was okay with me going. So I was our voting member, but it was sort of moot because there was nothing on the agenda to vote on, so I didn't figure anybody would mind, especially since I wasn't casting a vote. But there was a lot of important information shared. I'm just going to take a minute to go through that if you can indulge me. First of all, there was the usual presentations and reports. The New Jersey School Board Convention report on the status of how that went was that they had an increase of attendance by 500 people at the convention at workshop, and that they met all of their financial goals, and they were pretty pleased with the educational aspect of the presentations, which I have to concur, I thought was much better this year than last year, and sort of on par with some previous years. I know a lot of us enjoyed being able to attend some of those workshops. Of particular significance, I think, too, down there was some of our peer districts making presentations. In particular, like I went to one that Howell presented that I thought was really great, and I think that it's a tremendous opportunity to have a fellow district sharing the work that they do as a resource to us in Monmouth County. So I think that was really great. And who knows, maybe we'll, and across the state, who knows, maybe we'll be presenting there one day soon.
I think we're going to.
I was going to say
We've
that.
been working on a plan right now to get something in place for next year. Yeah. Yeah.
Then moving forward, they discussed the financial aspect of the New Jersey School Boards Association and the fact that they've been able to obtain funding through their foundation arm to continue the new board member orientation training. And fortuitously, we have a couple of our new board members here, so this information will serve you as well. The two weekend orientation dates are January 11th through the 13th, and they have January 22nd through the 24th. So I think it's January. I looked that up. At any rate, those weekend orientations are available through funding at no cost to the local school districts, and they are really the training to avail yourself of as a new board member. There are other options, but I think that weekend option is such a tremendous resource to districts to be able to go and do that full weekend training. And I can tell you that many of us had that opportunity after it had gone away for some time to be able to. I think the year we came on the board was the first year they brought that back. Through their foundation, they were able to get funds for a grant to be able to offer that. And so I hope our new board members will be able to take advantage of that because, like I said, it's no cost to the local school districts, and it affords you an opportunity to learn and make connections with other new board members who you will start to get to know and see over the years at different various events and training. So it's really a tremendous opportunity. I know I learned a lot. I'm sure the other board members would feel the same way. So I wanted to share that. I was happy that the School Board Association was able to obtain that funding, and it keeps our costs down. It does fill up very quickly, though, they added, so it's important if you are interested to get on board with that right away, they said. The other thing that was discussed was, as I mentioned, there were no motions brought by the deadline, so there was nothing to vote on in this delegate assembly, but they did just present the report that they had done, the non-college bound learner report. This task force studied ways to improve outcomes for the non-college bound learner. They made 69 recommendations presented to the State Board of Ed, and that report, which was recently also highlighted in our most recent communication from school board, is available for you to peruse. And I know this district and this board has expressed interest and concern and attention towards the opportunities for the non-college bound learner, and I was really gratified to note that many of the recommendations in the report are things that we are in fact implementing here in Matawan. Things like our program with Brookdale and the dual enrollment type of programming, and students being able to be in a cohort to graduate with an associate's degree, things like that, that are tremendously important for students for whom a four-year college pathway is not their preferred pathway. And so I think tremendous resources and intellectual resources will continue to be devoted to that, because this report had a lot of really good information, including their partnership with the Army ROTC, which is featured down at the school boards convention, where they do that steam tank challenge, and something that we are doing, here. So as I was listening to this report and these recommendations, it was a nice opportunity to say, good job to Matawan in my head and now here with you, that we are implementing so many of the things that are considered best practice in that regard. So kudos to us there. And to that committee, for whom that task force did a tremendous amount of work. I think it was really interesting. There was another presentation regarding school funding and path to progress, reducing costs, regionalization, and special ed costs were discussed. Notably not discussed was transportation. And so, one of the reasons that I went to this delegate assembly, I was so interested to be a part of this, is because I really would like to see some work being done at the state level with regard to how the funding and the legislation is worded and the regulations are worded with regard to transportation. And I noted that we were not the only district who was raising that point. through the discussion opportunities that were available. So I would love to pursue with this board the idea of perhaps we can submit something, some resolution language that we would like to see presented at the delegate assembly with regard to some of the things that we've been working on through our transportation committee, because maybe that's the way that we need to facilitate action in Trenton and beyond in that regard. So I wanted to share that with you. Senator Sweeney was supposed to attend, and Lucille Davy attended to present these reports. But Senator Sweeney was not available, so he sent his representative. There was quite a bit of lengthy discussion that I will not get into, but basically, school funding formula continues to be quite the conundrum, and one of their big pathways forward that they see is regionalization, which obviously we are already a regional K-12 district, so not a lot of big news there for us at this time, and then special ed costs were a big piece of their puzzle. And those were pretty much the highlights. There was, lots of other discussion that took place, but those were the highlights. And like I said, I thought it was a great opportunity. There was no legislation to vote on, but it was an opportunity to learn some important information and to be able to share that and pass that along. So wanted to do so, and thank you for your attention and time.
Thank you for that synopsis, and it's for every board member to get an opportunity. I think it's a great way to find out how school districts can make inroads into issues specific to their district, but also issues that pertain to many school districts within your county, outside your county, within your state. So, if you, I think you have something back.
Oh, yeah. And so that brings me to then my next point, which is, if nobody has any objections or, doesn't want to go themselves, I'd like to attend the next one and be our delegate, if everyone's okay with that.
There's actually 2 delegates, and I'm one of them, so I'll be happy to go.
Okay, and then a conversation that the board can have when it seats maybe too, to get them up to speed too. I would strongly recommend the board member orientation. It's given over the course of a weekend. Mrs. Nappy, Mrs. Martinez, and I all came on at the same time as the board members, and it was a great experience. You learn a lot. They do. They put you into some scenarios so that you get to be able to participate, not just read from a book or learn, but also role play or see what it's like. There's a lot of literature you're given. It's a great resource. So I know that Board Secretary Mr. Farrell or our superintendent's office will reach out, and when you get sworn in, definitely it's a great opportunity. And as Ms. Nappy said, some of the relationships you make with other board members from other districts. You'll see them at the county meetings. It builds a community, and it kind of gives you a footing, knowing how you're doing and seeing how other districts do. And it gives you a good sense of balance that we're all doing what we need to do for kids, not only here, but in our county and in our state. So, it's a great opportunity, and, I hope it works out that all our good board members get to attend. With that said, any other new business before the board? Seeing none, we open the floor now to public comments relating to additional matters. Seeing none. Be it resolved that a closed session be convened for the purpose of discussing privacy matters, personnel matters, and negotiations matters. Subject matter of these discussions will be disclosed to the public when a reason for confidentiality subsides. Although the board cannot guarantee it, the length of the executive session is estimated to be 20 minutes, after which the public meeting of the board shall reconvene and proceed with business. Action may take place. May I have a motion to enter into executive session?
I'll make a motion.
Mrs. Desposito, thank you. A second?
I'll second.
Mrs. Dantley, thank you. All in favor? Aye. We are in executive session.